Hutton Orbital Radio. This is not the station you're looking for.
Preparations for Blue Monday are well underway at Hutton. The corridor walls have all been painted in a light and cheery institutional grey, rather than the usual dull and depressing institutional grey. McThargoids are training their staff to give everyone an extra scoop of chips and a cheeky wink. I said wink. So everyone feels special. Some of the staff are natural winkers, while others have delivered ocular contortions which can only be described as decidedly unnatural. The local children have painted a photorealistic mural of an outdoor lavvy with a T-Rex standing over it, to remind everyone of that cheery scene in the old Earth movie where a dinosaur eats a lawyer. The security, or insecurity, turret gunners have all been fitted for a big pair of fluffy mittens on a string, to make it harder for them to waste some unsuspecting pilot who wanders a bit too close without requesting docking permission. Whoopee cushions have been placed under random seats to create fart noises so everyone can have a giggle. Unbeknownst to the pranksters, Gusto the Clown has poured gravy into some of them for added effect. Budget Clones for You have created a rainbow farting unicorn. It's more of a Shetland pony size, but still, it farts unicorns. Rainbows. Oh, and there's some weird guy wearing a Free Hugs t-shirt wandering around the parade, giving everyone the creeps. For a moment, the big screen stops playing the soothing music and suddenly goes blank. There's a fanfare, and a voice says,
Blue Monday's a rubbish day. Look after yourselves and be excellent to one another. Oh, and our mics are live. Good evening. I'm Rudolph Hucker, and I'm absolutely fizzing.
I'm Wilma Fingerdew, and I've been messing with my chakras.
I'm Mia Harkness, and I maintain mental equilibrium through interpretive dance and creative swearing.
I'm Norma Snookers, and I practice mindful cross-stitch.
I'm practicing self-care by watching telly and eating loads of crisps.
Right, let's get the headlines done before I go apoplectic. Tharg hunters seek out new challenges in old places.
I see snow people.
It's not theirs, it's ours, as argument over Barnett Star intensifies.
Don't like where you've gone on holiday? Tough, you're stuck there.
And I'm stuck once again with a big list of where not to do stuff.
First, this evening, following everyone's Christmas celebrations about the retreat, rout and general right royal roasting of Titan Cocky Joe, and thence the remaining invading Thargoids from the bubble, attentions in the last week turned to the HIP 22460 system. The site of the beginning of the most recent phase of the Thargoid War, the detonation of the doomsday device on the planet's surface, heralded the arrival of the Titans. The powers that be declared the system a really real no-go area not long after, though tourists were often eager to take an orbit or two of the planet to get some spell fees of the Fallout Dome. As one of the remaining strongholds of Tharg the Mighty and his, or her, or even their mighty minions, HIP 22460 became a beacon for bored anti-Xeno commanders eager to prove that all of their investment in anti-Xeno weaponry and defences wasn't a big flash in the pan and still had a purpose. With high-intensity anti-Xeno combat zones appearing in orbit around the planet, the massed ranks of the anti-Xeno alliance of pilots descended onto the area in what they were determining was the blockade of HIP 22460. It appears to have worked like a big dose of Imodium. The blockage has cleared. Whatever unpleasantness was in the system has indeed been flushed, the Guardian-reinforced fridge-cooled toilet paper applied to the delicate areas, and Tharg the Mighty and his or her or even their mighty minions have gone round the U-bend from whence they came. No news yet as to whether the planet is landable, though a number of eager buckyball racers have been petitioning the various galactic governments for permits to go and race around the rim. Yet more pilots have been simply asking, "Can I go down there and poke it?" Be reassured, with scientists from Aegis, Cannon and many others on the scene at the moment, the big dome of doom has had about as much poking, prodding and probinating as is A, possible, and B, sensible. We're expecting updates from the sites in the forthcoming week, but in the meantime, keep an eye out for strange multi-limbed glowing creatures escaping from it. And if anything that looks like Godzilla is seen walking around on the planet, do make a hasty retreat, won't you?
News once again from Commander Drake Duran and his frosticles on the icy world of Redacted from last week. Commander Drake Duran continues his work keeping his keelback operational, the SRV's chocks icicle-free and cubicle smelling as fragrant as ever. No idea what they put in their pot noodles over there, but it's probably classifiable as gastrointestinally contravening of a Geneva Convention somewhere. And the landing zone functional. Without the luxury of standard navigation aids such as lights, they get snowed on, a flag, who's going to hold it? Their arms would snap off. Or radio beacons. The radio broke when someone tried tuning it to radio Sidewinder. His team has devised a unique solution: snow markers and shadows. A row of carefully sculpted snow people, snow persons or otherwise frosty approximations of humans, stands guard along the landing area. As the installation's resident supply keelback lights sweep across the snow upon approach to the facility, the figures cast short, then longer, then really long shadows. Pilots monitor these closely. When the shadow of Frosty 1's carrot nose delicately touches Frosty 2's icy bollocks, the time for landing has arrived. Landing gear down, thrusters working with instead of against gravity, and hope you've not landed in a near absolute zero puddle of something with a really low melting point. While the method is surprisingly effective, it's not without risks. A heavy-handed descent or a misjudged approach often results in the sudden flattening of one or more snow people. Replacements are sculpted with impressive speed, though the designs have taken a creative turn. Recent additions to the Frosty lineup include a snow Alvin with a triumphant stance and a tail made of braided snow, and a snow keelback with thrusters that melted itself before anyone could admire the details. The system is entirely manual. The team constructs and maintains the figures by hand, pausing only to warm their fingers before diving back into the drifts. Commander Drake Duran is reportedly the fastest snow sculptor on site, able to fashion a replacement before the cockpit systems finish complaining about ice accumulation. While unconventional, the approach has proved reliable. Out here, in the unrelenting cold, snow people are more than just decorations. They're essential workers, and as such, probably criminally underpaid. And if Frosty ends up face down in the snow after a particularly abrupt landing, well, that's just the cost of keeping things moving. More from Commander Drake Duran, affectionately known as Grug to his colleagues, next week, when we investigate the ins and outs of when it's acceptable to hit super cold metallic shit parts with a wrench, and exactly why you're not allowed to pee in the snow.
The political climate in Banter Star has taken a sharp turn this week, with tensions rising over allegations of Imperial meddling in the system's affairs. Shadow President Jerome Archer has publicly denounced what he calls
a blatant Imperial effort to undermine federal authority.
despite the glaring reality that Barnard Star is and always has been an independent system. Alvin Defer, the undisputed top dog at Hutton Orbital, wasted no time in addressing these claims. Through a series of firm growls and one particularly well-aimed bark, Alvin made it abundantly clear that Barnard Star is under the protection of the Hutton truckers, and the Federation has no business treating it as their own. Early reports suggest his final statement amounted to a succinct and unambiguous Foxtrot Oscar. The latest tensions come amidst accusations that Imperial supporters, particularly those aligned with Princess Ashleen Duval, have been fostering goodwill in Barnard Star. Federal agents claim this represents a direct challenge to their authority, with Archer describing the Empire's influence as
a creeping vine in the Federation's garden.
Princess Duval has denied orchestrating any campaigns in the system, but did raise eyebrows by stating,
"It is only natural for people to consider new ideas, especially in systems that value their independence."
Observers noted that the princess's words were carefully crafted, leaving room for plausible deniability should the debate escalate further. Locals in Barnard Star, meanwhile, are baffled by the political fracas.
"We're independent. I've been for ages. Federation, Empire, Alliance. None of them run the show here,"
said one resident while nursing a mug of something Huttony.
"But if anyone's going to try and claim this system, they better get ready to face Alvin. That dog does not back down."
The Hutton truckers' stance on the issue is clear. Barnard Star is no one's political chess piece. While the Federation and the Empire squabble over influence that isn't theirs to begin with, the truckers are focused on keeping the system truly independent, one mug delivery at a time. And if Archer or Ashling think they're going to sway this system, they'd best prepare for a frosty reception, and not the kind Drake Duran marks with carrot-nosed sentinels.
Tonight's next controversial, but probably based in fact, mostly, story. Factions across the galaxy are finding themselves firmly rooted in star systems, unable to retreat. Once you've arrived, you're staying put, like a package holiday at Terra Molinas when the airport's gone bust. Officials are calling it the Great Galactic Glue-Up, while affected factions describe it as a cosmic case of overstaying one's welcome. The issue seems to stem from an administrative mishap in the galaxy's governing systems. Originally designed to streamline departures when everyone else in the system has decided you either smell of cabbage, or your ship does, or they don't like your sort around here, it now appears to be operating on the principle of nobody in, nobody out, and nobody ask why. Experts blame a recent software update dubbed System Integrity Neutralizing Dynamics, or SIND for short, which ironically ensures no system's integrity can be neutralized. Attempts to force a retreat have been spectacularly unsuccessful. In one case, a faction leader filed so many retreat requests that the station's printers overheated, welded themselves shut, and a technician was called to fix the issue but became stuck to the equipment himself when his anti-static boots activated mid-job. The situation escalated further when a passing janitor mistook the scene for modern art and submitted it to the Galactic Gallery of Governance Oddities. Even self-initiated retreats are proving impossible. In one Imperial system, a faction leader announced their departure only to find that their ships were still docked a week later. When queried, a station bureaucrat replied, "Your retreat request has been received and ignored. Please stay put, and thank you for your cooperation." Efforts to leave the systems appear to be met with universal resistance, not just from the Pilots Federation BGS division, but the locals as well. One faction leader declared, We filled every form, followed every procedure, and even oiled the gears of galactic governance. But nothing's moving, not even a strongly worded memo. Another complained of locals chaining themselves to station entrances chanting, "Stay, or we'll make you wish you had." Meanwhile, systems actively trying to evict factions have been thwarted at every turn. One station attempted to eject an unwanted political group by turning off the airlocks. The faction simply responded by setting up shop in the station's food court, where they're now running a thriving chain of waffle stands. "They're unstoppable," sighed the station manager, and worse, the waffles are delicious. Proposed solutions have included everything from diplomatic pressure to a large broom. However, critics have noted that sweeping problems under the carpet tends to backfire in zero gravity, where everything floats straight back up. Until a proper fix is found, factions are advised to embrace their new homes and avoid using the phrase "we'll be gone in no time." As one long-suffering official put it, "You can try to leave a system, but the system's not leaving you. Welcome to Galactic Purgatory, and enjoy your stay."
Welcome to this week's Hutton BGS bit, where we ask the incident room staff to pull our finger before letting one rip and running away before the smell hits. Well, I think we've reached a new record for influence level, with Wolf 124 sitting at 94%. Obviously, with influence levels like that, we're back into expansion again this week. Hopefully this time, we'll add somewhere nice where we can make a real go of things. We don't have a lot of systems left which we can work in without going over the 60% influence, but let's see if there's any little gems out there. The booms, they are in Epsilon Eridani, 36 Ophiuchi, Wolf 1481, Kokari, and Wolf 359. Investment continues in Barnard's Star. And it's all kicked off in LHS 3531 with Outbreak and War going off at the same time. Hutton is at war with the Gilgamesh Core Orbital Protection, who need a good talking to, with the beam laser. Wolf 629 sees us in an election with the Sol Workers' Party. He really should be back in Sol, gluing the Eiffel Tower back together after the Thargoids wrecked it. But what does it all mean? I have no idea. But I would hazard a guess and say, if you want to truck it, then truck medical supplies into LHS 3531 to help with the outbreak, or truck in whatever they want in Barnard's Star to take advantage of the investment phase. If you want to mission run, then run missions for Hutton and Wolf 629 and help out with that election. And if you want to shoot it, then get over to LHS 3531 and test your metal against the Gilgamesh Core Orbital Protection. Gilcop. And that's us. That's us.
And that's us.
And that's us.
That's
Yes.
us that
And
was,
that's
us
us.
that is, yes.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's us. And it's still me.
Yes, I'm back. I missed you all last week.
Who are you again?
What? Intruder! Intruder alert!
Intruder.
It's
How
Visitor
did
Dusty.
how did he get in? Intruder window.
Intruder, oh dear. You can tell it's Hutton when the puns are flowing freer than the
Hey,
Centauri
this is the
Megatube.
station. This
I'm
is where old
back.
jokes.
Yes.
This is where old jokes never die.
Yeah, they
As
just,
well you know.
get recycled and then broadcast on Dave. Or with Dave, or to
Broadcast
Dave.
by Dave.
Yes, or
by
by
Dave.
Dave. Bye, Dave. Yep.
Oh, a badum tish.
A badum-tish. Yes, so in the news this week, Commander Drake Duran. I mean, we've done it for a couple of weeks now, but have we actually explained why we're broadcasting articles about Commander Drake Duran having frosticles on his whatsicles to anybody?
Oh, you don't want frosticles on your whatsicles.
No. Well, maybe.
Don't.
Right. So back a while back, we did have a Hutton trucker go down to Antarctica twice on a boat, and one of the boats caught fire on the way back and all sorts of things with the Australian Antarctic expedition. And
Not just for us. He was going anyway.
he was going anyway. Yeah, I mean, he was in charge of fueling operations and the boat to refuel certain of the Australian Antarctic Division's sites.
And the boat went on fire.
It caught on fire on the way home, and they've got a new boat, and we haven't had any more since that, but we know the boat hasn't sunk yet. Anyway, well, this is a different expeditioner. This is Commander Drake Duran, who has gone down to a different base, and is this time, on behalf of Hutton, or possibly as a job, is now in charge of maintenance operations for various flights in and out of an Antarctic base. The kind of flights where they have to fit skis to the plane, and the runway is a flat piece of ice. And they've taken an extra thermal version of a Hutton mug and Hutton flight patches. I think Drake Duran's there on behalf of the US Air Force, I think.
Oh, okay, that would make sense. I don't know if they have to fit skis to the planes because it's sea ice, and sea ice is full of salt, so it's quite grippy apparently.
No. If you see the pictures in the Hutton Discord channel,
on the plane?
There are skis on the plane. They can put them up and down. Anyway, so Commander Drake Duran's job there is to keep the plane landing and various operations to do with the planes, which does involve hitting things with spanners occasionally. And he does have his own little SRV, which is, I think it's, is it red, orange? It's bright anyway, with huge wheels. And the story about Cubicle 3 is actually all true as well, because apparently they've discovered an amazing smell down there, mainly because there isn't any kind of sort of sewage system, because you have to take it back with you. You can't leave anything there. You're not even allowed to go for your number ones outside. You know what I mean? You have to have a pot to pee in, and it sounds to me like yes, you have to take it like astronauts do. You have to take it back with you. Anyway, so we've got updates in the Hutton Discord channel. There is a special new channel, I think. Does anybody know what it's called? On the Hutton Discord, it's hot something, but it's not hot. It's cold, but it's hot. Hot ODF brrr.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, the story about snowmen is also completely true, because they don't have lights and they don't have, as Amelia said.
No?
Go on then. Is there no? What? Apology, officer.
Sorry?
Is there no?
What?
You said, is there no? Is there no? Oh, you didn't? Oh, I must have dreamt it. Anyway,
She said, "Is it though?"
Oh, is it though?
Is it though?
I haven't got my glasses
the
on.
stations on your integrity.
Come on!
Anyway, as
I'm
Amelia
not saying
said,
that nobody can understand the accent.
11.
11!
Right. Anyway, so the snowman is actually there, and the snowman is real. They do actually have to make snowmen because they haven't got any landing markers. And they haven't got any lights. And as Amelia said, anybody's arms would snap off if you wave them outside because it's cold. So they build snowmen. And they use them as landing markers for the planes. And occasionally they run them over.
But how did they have to spray paint them or something?
No. I mean, Drake Duran says they're a critical part of ramp operations here. We don't have marking on the ramp here to designate where to park/stop the aircraft like at normal airports. So we, inverted commas, volunteer these little snowfolk to mark where we need to stop the plane. Snowfloke goes squish. We signal the plane to stop.
Yep.
They'll be
makes
very
sense.
visible because of the shadows.
Yes.
And given that it's summer down there at the moment, they're sort of very long, continuous shadows that just go round and round and round.
Yeah, there's not really much of a night time, is there?
So it's all true. And then BGS bits, I mean, about the retreats. There have been people complaining that the BGS is a right old mess at the moment and retreats aren't happening and all sorts. So that's actually true. And yes, Galnet news, we may hear a little bit later from Commander Wotherspoon on this one, but apparently the Federation thinks Barnard's Star is theirs and they're upset at the Empire for claiming it's theirs. And we're just sat on the sidelines going, excuse me, guys, no, pack it in, not yours. We defended it, we fixed it, go away, I think is the basics. Where were you when were you when Tharg invaded?
Yeah, it's interesting with this. Well, you're invading their system. That's not your system, that's their system. And then you look, you go, it's not any, it's neither of you. It belongs to neither of you. It's a Hutton system.
But they've got flags.
Snake. I train it. I'm going to eat it.
Yes. My cake. Yep. Oh, actually, Valkarius, I have just noticed, Valkarius, your face isn't up on screen. Why is that?
Oh, that's all right.
Hang on, so let's put you up on screen. There we go. Vulgarius has popped up as well. There you go. That's nearly a full set. Okay, I'm playing catch up a little bit. So Frontier Livestream, somebody tell me.
We haven't heard anything. We haven't even heard. So I've been looking at the announcements to see if they'd post a 2025 live stream series, but nothing yet.
So no announcements of the announcement. No. Okay. So they're still missing in action. I mean, they have been playing around with the roller coasters a bit. I have seen some posts about roller coasters. So they're definitely there.
They did say at the last live stream in December, Arthur and Zach agreed between them that doing the whole announce everything they're going to do in January for the next 11 months was a very, very good strategy and worked very well last year, and they're going to do that again. So
fantastic. Well, I mean, we could just translate what they've put out here for Planet Coaster onto what we're going to get, because February, apparently, we're getting custom video billboards and custom speakers. I think they're probably talking about the little beepy cars. Synchronized coasters. Interchangeable cars.
Are they for the mug?
Multi-select guest navigation. Ongoing economy management. Enhancements. This all sounds like it could be for us. Maybe they put it in the wrong channel.
Maybe.
They've said also in here, in March we're going to get jettisoning off flumes.
Oh, geez,
And what's even better, we're going to get round bottom flumes, because everybody knows that round bottom flumes make the rocking world go round.
I was thinking the same thing.
And apparently we're going to get inflatable deformation.
Oh, geez, I've had that.
That's
before.
deformation, not deformation. Yes.
Yeah. You have to go to the doctor for that.
Yeah. And everything else is under construction.
With the right cream, it clears up fairly soon.
So I think what we're going to do is, if they don't publish by the end of the month our version of this, we're going to steal the one from Planet Coaster and declare it as fact and demand these things.
Especially the inflatable deformation.
Yeah. Especially. Yeah. No Flossy, no dying on the job there.
Yes, it's not permitted.
It's paperwork. Right.
We'd have to apologise, and we know that the Onion's overworked at the moment.
Yes.
So.
Are you feeling okay, Flossy, or are you a little bit under the weather?
A bit under the weather, not too bad. It's a cough mainly.
Yeah, you caught it.
Cocky voice.
Yeah, you caught it from the ice and snow and winds and everything from up north.
Up north.
And west a bit. Yes. Right, I suppose if there's no Frontier Live Stream, I'm going to ask the next question. Shall we move on to the space news?
Yes, let's move on to space news.
Excellent. I don't know if we've got any or not, but let's push this button.
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
There we go. Floor mopping guy's back on duty, rocking out with his mega mop. And Alan the Aardvark spaceship's gone droopy again. Right, we haven't got pictures for this one. I've got to ask the question. Are they still up there?
Oh, yes. Although they're getting a bit bored. I believe that one of them's decided that she can't stand the company anymore and she stepped outside for a walk.
Right. Well, let's just turn this... whoops. No, go away. I've got pop-ups. Let's get rid of the pop-ups. Maybe later. No, cookies. I don't want cookies. We want this. So NASA astronauts stuck in space ventures outside. Or NASA astronauts stuck in space ventures outside. NASA astronauts stuck in space ventures outside. I don't know. There's no punctuation in this one. So go on then. Who is it? What have they done?
It's Sunny Williams, and she's gone out to hit something with a big stick.
Right. Bored of you lot. I'm heading outside.
Something about a telescope that was in need of repair, so she thought, well, while I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, as you do, you're just sitting around, lazing there
hanging about.
When you're on day 307 of your 7-day holiday, and you think, well, let's find something to do.
Well, I quite like the name of the thing they're fixing.
Yeah, it's a nice name.
It's a nice name. It's the NICER. Yeah, it's called the NICER X-ray telescope.
Is it
Does
nicer?
make you feel a bit sorry. Does make you feel a bit sorry for the other X-ray telescope, though, doesn't it?
Not so nice.
Is it nicer or is it Nisa like the shops?
Is this a leasty kind of conversation?
No, it's just Nisa is NISA. You'll know straight away.
Who calls it least eye? I've never heard that before. That's almost as bad as saying tritium.
I have leasties and least eyes. Yeah,
No,
I've heard it many ways.
I've heard leasty.
Oh, now I can understand
Larvae.
if someone says lava instead of lave, I can understand that.
Larvae.
Least eye? Houton.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was Lavi when I first started playing. I liked just the fact that it was called Lavi.
This is Lavi. Das Klo. At the bog. Yes. Right. Okay. So they're still out there. Any news on when they're coming home yet? Oh, she's just gonna say, I just need 5. Okay, I'm going outside again. Do we know when they're?
It's in the definitely February. Oh no, scratch that. It's going to be March. When we say March, it might be April. Sort of category at the moment.
Well, at the moment, Ms. Williams is apparently conducting a second spacewalk out on the 23rd of January with Mr. Wilmore.
Next week.
Sounds like a geography teacher, doesn't it?
Yes,
Mr. Wilmore.
But it's all fine.
Yep. Right. Well, that's
Mr. Wilmore. Mr. Wilmore's got patches on his jacket sleeves.
Yes,
He's
and
got
he's
elbow patches.
like me. He's looking over the top of his glasses.
Spacesuit.
Yeah.
That's
the first one.
Return is end of March, beginning of April, so somewhere around then.
Yeah. And for those of you wondering what you're going to do after Amelia yells for the mug, or quietly says for the mug, or Mooncake meows a little bit, something's going on tonight at around the end of the show o'clock as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Assuming they open the window first.
Yeah.
Yep. List of Starship launches. Who's put that up there? Hang on a second.
Scroll down.
Scroll down. Where am I going to? Ship versions. 2023, 2024, 2025. 16th of January. Here we go.
So it's not Starship that's going up, it's the BFR.
That is Starship.
That is Starship,
yes.
right? Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Starship Flight 7 is planned for tonight. It's doing a similar run to last time, except this time, while it's on a suborbital trajectory, it's going to dump a load of satellites out into space.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
and this one,
is
this the kind that does get caught, not the one that goes boom?
This is the kind that bits of it got caught last time.
Bits of it with the dustpan and brush. No,
the booster did that amazing Karate Kid thing of something flying getting caught by chopsticks, but the actual launcher, the Starship itself.
Oh, that was the one that went plop, but deliberately plop.
Yes, it issued a perfect landing at a point just above the sea, then switched off its engines and went thump, which was what they planned for it to do. I think the plan is the same this time, except they're doing more tests while it's up before it comes back down.
Right, and apparently this is the first reflight of a Raptor engine on an orbital rocket.
Yeah,
so this is the first time they've reused one, yes. Yeah.
Well, it's ignition of the engine while it's in space.
Oh, relight, not a reflight. I thought they were reusing a Raptor engine in orbit. Oh, right, okay. It's a typo. But then there's the other lot.
Yeah, the other lot went up yesterday, this morning?
Yeah, 13 hours ago, give or take.
Yep, they went up very successfully. They came down exceptionally successfully. In fact, they came down even faster than they were intending to.
and they came all the way down. They didn't just go halfway down and stop.
Yeah.
No.
They weren't expecting to catch the booster, in all fairness. It was their first ever flight, and they just wanted to see what happened as much as anything. They had a ship in place for landing it on, but it didn't quite manage it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
but that was in modern parlance, that was a stretch goal. It wasn't part of the core mission set.
Well, as I understand, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, as I was saying earlier, how jaded are we now that when they don't quite catch the rocket booster, we'll go, well, that's just crap.
Yes, we've seen the cool
this one
shit.
Doesn't look like a big willy.
Yeah, do something spectacular.
This looks like it's out of Thunderbirds, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
land it in your back garden. Do that.
interesting. I mean, where they were expecting to land it, it was an old barge at sea that he named after his mum. Jeff Bezos named it after his mum.
Right.
Which is, okay, you could name something cool, like the spaceship after your mum, or like a satellite,
No,
or something
some
cool.
old barge.
No, the barge in the ocean that I'm going to crash into at speed and catch fire. Yeah.
Is it just called Mum?
No, it's called Jacqueline, apparently.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, after Jeff Bezos' mother.
Well, that's not too bad. I mean, it could have been called something like Deirdre.
Yeah, Ethel.
Ethel, yes. Beryl.
Beryl, yes. Anyway, so yeah, one's going up tonight. One went up, and then some of it came down, and one of them went out, and that's about it for the space news. Anybody else got any space news before we hit the magic button and speak to Mr. Volcarius?
Nothing.
In which case, let's do that then.
A very quick follow-up to one of last week's.
I'll hit the button now.
That's all right. It's kind of that sort of follow-up anyway. You may remember last week we said that there might or might not be a comet visible in the sky at this point.
Yes.
As you can tell from the complete lack of coverage in pretty much every media stream everywhere. Yeah, no.
There's no comet.
Well, it's there if you've got a halfway decent telescope or a good pair of binoculars.
Really good eyes, or did what I didn't remember to put your glasses on before starting the show and starting to push the complicated buttons. Yes.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was all.
So, Commander Valkyrius, I think you're up next. I've got your theme tune ready. I mean, obviously there's something to talk about because there were Thargoid shenanigans, so we are going to hand over to you.
Okay, if you like.
Where's your music? I don't even know where I've put your music. Oh, there's the Valkyrius button. Look at that.
We'll flying high in the black face, the Thargoid threat. Precarious leads away, no fear, no regrets. Guys are Titan's breath, saving humankind. Together we'll defend, never fall behind. Whoa, keep your lasers flare. Whoa, Valkyrius is here, fighting on front.
Oh, that was not quite the normal abridged one.
Short version.
The full one either.
Well, there are fewer Thargoids about, you know?
I see. So there was a... Commanders decided to do a thing, and the Pilots Federation decided to respond to it and call it... So, your article... I think actually the Pilots Federation called it a blockade, honestly. But yeah, so the HIP 22460 system declared free of Thargoids, which I certainly didn't expect that to change before we would actually have seen anything more to do with the story, COGNA, anything to do with the actual Proteus wave device. But Aegis has confirmed that the HIP 22460 system now shows zero sign of Thargoid activity. As it happens, so many commanders arrived it was a particular event just on Sunday, which commanders decided to do. Canonically, I suppose, they caused some conflict zones, but yeah, some conflict zones may have appeared around the planet just for that purpose. So many new commanders who had new to Anti-Xeno at least, had taken up arms in defense of Sol and the systems around it. Not had much to do. Quite enjoyed it. Not had much to do over Christmas. At least before we get some more story in that direction. And the Pilots Federation decided to do a thing.
Does this turn up in the system and go, "Hello, any Thargoids hiding here"?
Well, there were prior to that. If all you'd had to do is show up, drop, and the frame shift anomalies would find you, it was one of those systems. But it was Guardian. I mean, the Guardian anti-Guardian field. It was still active. Correct.
Yes,
exactly like a Titan system. The whole system had an anti-Guardian zone active.
Does it not now that we've done the do?
I haven't checked, but I could do.
Right. But there's no sign of anything funky happening with the big pimple on the planet's surface, or as you say, COGNA or whatever.
Well, that's the part of the story that involves salvation. That's still not wrapped up. The last thing that happened was COGNA went to Utopia to meet with Pranav Antal, The result of the meeting was kept confidential, as that's all the Galnet set told us, and we haven't heard more anything after that.
Right.
Perhaps the Oran Mill are coming under attack when Casio arrived, but commanders were... I didn't save it first, but it was like second or third. They kind of wanted to keep CO safe.
Right, and so the HIP 22460 system has got... I'm trying to work out what bodies it from memory here. It's got quite a lot of bodies in system, but the important one is there's the ringed one, another ringed one. Which one is it? Is it 3A? That was had the pimple on it. I can't remember.
Honestly, can't remember. It's out by the Pleiades. I jumped my carrier out like a month ago, and I was going to go poke around to see if I could get some non-human signal sources, but I didn't visit HIP 22460.
Right. Okay.
It's 6 jumps from me, and so I might get there in a bit. But...
Oh, right, it's 10B. There we go. Proteus Wave was launched at planet 10B originally, if anybody does fancy popping by for a look. I assume 10B is still locked such that we can't land on it or anything like that, because 10B was a landable one, wasn't it? But it's now not anymore. Because it's got the pimple on it. So I think it's permit locked, but wouldn't it be great if you could land there and just sort of go and have a look at that topography or the big dome or something?
Well, I'll see if I can get there. I'm in a travel range jump crate phantom, and I don't think I've got a neutralizer on me. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, as long as you haven't got any Guardian modules, you'll be fine. Okay, but no other hints or sniffs of Thargoids anywhere.
Well, there's always the nebulae, so you can around systems around Merope, which is around the Pleiades.
Seven Sisters.
I had a just while jumping out there, I had a hyperdiction something like 40 light years away from Merope. It was just in an empty system as well. So and there were non-human signal sources in the place. It was cold something or other. Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Has anybody tried out the Thargoid machine since they've been kicked in the diddly-doo-dahs?
There have been commanders who kind of found out after the fact that that was something we had to use to make green relics as part of unlocking things like the Thargoid pulse neutralizer. They should still work as before. It's been quite interesting to look at commanders posting screenshots of something that's been around for a while, but they've only seen it for the first time, which is a great experience for them.
Oh yeah, and that thing up in space where you put the thing in the thing and then it glows and lightning comes out of it. You know the one I mean. The big beacon up in space.
A few of those.
Yeah.
In this case, actually, this is a good way if you want to unlock Ramtar and Palin. Is if you actually do the green relic, that is, you get a blue relic from a Guardian Ruins, an ancient ruins, for example, the site.
And you have to insert the things into the doobie to get the blue relics. Is that?
So blue relics you get just by driving around in the SRV, and when one of the spirey things pops out of the sort of Guardian receptacles, jumps out of the ground, you can shoot it down the blue relic and collect it with the SRV.
Right.
So you get 1 to 3 of those. They can take up to 3. You can use fewer though. You also need a Thargoid sensor to get into the area in question. A really good place to get those is Cornsar, the Cornsar system, where there are a lot of Thargoid wreckages on a lot of planets. Sensors are something you can collect with the SRV, or you can even get them with limpets from the sky.
And you've got both of those then?
Yeah, mining that the sensor is corrosive. You've got both of those on your ship. I can't remember the name of one. You'll have to look on the galactic internet to find which the systems which have crashed Thargoid ships on them. But there's a HIP one something or other. You need to go to there and you need to land in the middle of it, directly in the middle. Then take into your SRV the relic and the sensors. Then if you drive out, and there'll be should be 4 entrances. You can use any of them. And if you've got the sensors with you, the entrance will open.
Oh, the Thargoid sphincter's open, yes, yeah.
Now, what I do is at risk of losing the sensors if I need to recover, for example. I then, because they're corrosive, I drop the sensor just inside the door. And then continue on inside the building. There'll be Thargoid scavengers inside, so you can kill them with your SRV turret. There's no problem. Then it's a circular design. You just ride 45 degrees around it and then inwards to the middle chamber. It does have another use. If you haven't seen the star map, that's a whole other thing, and you need a few special items to. Maybe we'll cover that another time. But to make a green relic, you just drive up to one of the 3 receptacles and jettison the blue relic, like you would at a Guardian site when you get the one of the blueprints. And you can put 1 to 3 up in the. There are 3 receptacles. You can fill up 1, 2, or 3 of them, and then you need to scan the machine in the middle. When you do that, the entire room will get quite hot. You might not want to overheat your SRV. You can retreat to the corridor outside while it transforms the thing. You can dash through the room to collect the green relic while it's hot, or you can wait for it to cool down. Either way, but then that's how you get an unclassified.
So it's pretty
relic.
heavily exothermic, whatever's going on.
Yeah, it's certainly one of those processes. There isn't a direct use for unclassified relics. There have been community goals that are needed to acquire them. One of which was for producing the nanite torpedoes with which we destroyed the Titans in the first place.
The ones that we had Commander Hardy firing when I was going to be multi-crew. Yes, I remember those, yes. But once you got one of those green relics, if you show it to Professor Palin or to Ramtar, they'll give you engineering access if you haven't got it already. Oh, crikey. That sounds like a long shortcut to me.
Yeah, you don't even have to... Well, yeah, you get to see a cool thing, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't even need to give it to them or sell it to them. You just have to show it to them.
Look what I've got. Show and tell day.
Yeah.
I've got one of these. Oh, wow, you're the kind of person I want to speak to. Yep, I sure am. Can I have your stuff? That kind of conversation.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Right, and so that's how to get those. Well, we may have to send you on a mission to go and get us some, I don't know, pictures or footage of you doing exactly this for a future episode, maybe. But basically, Thargoid, that kind of stuff's now Tony Robinson. You know, it's down there with small walls and bits of broken pottery because Thargoids have gone for now. So there's
like I said,
we've got access to stuff.
There are still a few places. So yeah, there's the Pleiades Nebula, systems around Merope, which is close to Maya, if you've probably been there. You can also go to the California Nebula. There should actually be AX conflict zones around there, and there are also Thargoids around the coal sack, or at least there are hyperdictions around the coal sack. So they're around about. Those ones are still there. Right.
So you can find them if you want them. So basically it's become optional now to play with Thargoids. If you want to go tickle them, you can do. But it's not going to spoil your day on your normal trading or mining or whatever it is that Amelia's up to at the moment.
Well, that's kind of self-spoiling, I suppose. But yeah, the things prior to that thing, yeah, I don't think Thargoids will get in the way.
No. Excellent. Well, look, thank you very much, Commander Valkyrius. And there may or may not be more Thargoidy stuff coming. I would imagine there's a bit of a breather happening at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's a few more jumps. I'll either get my ship destroyed or perhaps take a picture of the planet.
We'll see. Right. Well, we'll hear back from you in a bit then. And thank you.
Do we have a word of the week?
Yes, we do. And I changed it, especially. The word of the
I
week
noticed.
This week word of the week this week is apoplectic.
Apoplectic? What does that mean?
Yeah. It means Overcome with anger, furious from apoplexy, which means a copious extravasation of blood into any organ.
Any organ. Can you use it in a sentence?
Yes, Van Tian went for a spacewalk before he became apoplectic.
Grrr.
And for anyone interested, it's now coming across your screens in the form of a
into
headline.
the chat as well. Hold on.
There we
That
go.
sounds like that sounds like what you get when the ECM venue hasn't got the bummock ready in time.
Yes.
Apoplectics when
Or
they
when
get
the-
venue
yeah.
managers when they shut the bar an hour earlier than they
I
contracted.
was going to say when the
do.
bubble runs out, more like.
Yeah. Well, run
Oh,
out of
by
beer
the way,
again.
eagle-eyed commanders will see that the ECM EliteCommunityMeet.info website has been updated with more information.
Right.
Tickets coming soon. Brackets trademark. Really soon.
Brackets trademark.
Brackets trade. Where's my button for this one?
Oh, you had it earlier.
Do I have it?
You had it earlier.
It could be this one.
Yay!
Lots of space facts that everyone did know they need to know. Think from Hutton straight to your brain.
Struggling to get close to fit after the holiday season? Why not try a Kuiper belt? It does sound like some sort of medical truss or something, but really, it's an area of our solar system and the subject of this week's space facts before I wander off onto other things. The Kuiper belt is a donut-shaped region of icy bodies that extends beyond Neptune's orbit. It's located in the outer reaches of our solar system and is sometimes called the third zone. The Kuiper belt is a huge region of space. It's home to millions of objects, including hundreds of thousands that are larger than 60 miles or 100 kilometres wide. It's cold in the Kuiper belt, with temperatures around minus 223 Celsius. That's minus 370 Fahrenheit for the night shift. So, a lot of those objects are rocky and icy, as we said before. Not just water ice, but ammonia and methane ice too. It's a place of frozen farts. Pluto is the largest Kuiper belt object we know of, but Eris is of a similar size, but slightly smaller, and has slightly more mass than Jupiter. The rest is all the crap left over from the formation of the solar system, which floats around in the dark and occasionally bumps into one another, breaking bits off, and some of those bits drift inward and become comets. Now, we all know about Pluto and its moon, Charon or Charon or Sharon or thing, but Eris is less well known. The dwarf planet Eris was discovered in 2005 by the Palomar Observatory team, and at an estimated 1,445 miles in diameter, is pretty big. Although Pluto is a bit larger at 1,476 miles diameter, Eris is around 27% more massive. Now, Eris was originally informally called Xena after Xena, warrior princess, by the team who discovered it. It even had its own moon, which is called Dysnomia. And the meaning of Dysnomia is chaos or lawlessness. So, Lucy Lawless still got a mention. I could easily do a whole space facts just about Eris, and I probably will at some point. But in the meantime, have a look for yourself by Googling it or by going there in-game. And that's it for Space Facts this week. That's us.
Space facts, lots of space facts that everyone did know they need to know. Think from Hutton straight to your brain. Beam from Hutton straight to your brain. Beam from Hutton straight.
I can feel it beaming. It is. It's beaming right through the
If
side
you
of my
think
head.
about that, I mean, we're working on estimates, but there's about, I don't know, maybe about 30 miles diameter difference between Pluto and Eris. That's the difference. And yet,
There's got to be
Eris
some
is something
sulking. Yeah.
yeah, but Eris is something like 27% heavier. I mean, it's got 27% more mass, but you know what I mean.
I know how it feels this close
Yeah.
after Christmas.
Yeah, I know, I'm the
Yeah.
same. But yeah, so when you think about it, Eris isn't really, there's not much of a difference between the two.
It's one of the strongest arguments for Pluto not being a planet, actually.
Yeah. Is Eris a planet then? When does
Right,
it
so
stop being a planet?
Kuiper Belt rocky, and then outside that you've got the Oort cloud,
The
which
Oort
is comets.
cloud, yes.
So you've
I
got
was-
yeah.
I was going to start writing about the Oort cloud, and then I went, no, look at the Kuiper Belt. It's got Pluto in it and Eris.
But
Yeah.
is it actually about, as in it's still in a ring around the same kind of orbital plane as
Yeah.
everything else, whereas the
Yeah,
Oort
because-
cloud is a
Yeah.
big circle, a big sphere around.
The Oort cloud is the sphere, and this is like it's like if you think of the asteroid belt, it's on the same plane as the planets because, well, it's made of the same stuff.
Well, it's all the leftover
used.
crap that none of the planets
Yeah.
wanted. Jupiter went, no, I don't want that, and
Yeah,
I've got
Yeah.
enough moons already, thanks.
yeah, and there would have been some stuff. They reckon there's bits of old planet in there as well that started but didn't really get anywhere,
Earth
and then
2.
get smashed up and things. So yeah,
And possibly the mysterious Planet X.
well, the mysterious planet X became Eris.
Oh, no. They're still looking.
No, it became Eris. Although they reckon there's other bodies out there, but
No,
Yeah.
there's a very significant disparity in the randomness of the orbits of the transit.
Yeah, they reckon
channels
there's
that they know
something-
about.
they reckon there's something else out there.
Potentially
sure.
in the order of about 10 Earth masses.
There are
Yes.
there are anomalies.
Yes.
Yes.
But then, if you have a look at the system map in Elite, there are loads of things out there. You go, where did that come from? Where did that
Oh, yeah,
come
there's doses of them now.
from?
And don't make the mistake I made and just try to Google Planet X, because it looks like there are one or two dodgy websites with a similar name.
Is it Planet Triple X?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you look at Eris, also has a moon called Make.
Mackie.
Mackie
Ah,
Mackie. I
Mackie.
didn't realise that was. Oh, right. So Mackie Mackie is Eris's.
It's Eris's moon.
Right. I knew Mackie Mackie. How is it I knew about Mackie Mackie but not Eris? Maybe it's because it's
I
got a
don't
silly
know.
name.
Very,
Yeah.
very distinctive name.
I'm sure did Eris not come up at one point in what's it called? With the Martians and the
Well, apparently, the Webb telescope says that they've both got warm interiors and active geochemistry. There you go.
yes. How is Eris got active geochemistry?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Possibly because it's got a moon.
Yeah, possibly, but it's also possibly it might be something like, it might have more of the kind of heavy elements that are radioactive. That might be heating it.
Would explain why
something
it was
like
so
that.
heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. That's just
Okay.
That's
Even
what I
more
learned
space
this week.
facts. I can feel them beaming again, straight
Yeah.
to my brain.
Straight to my brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it
Talk-
would beam straight into my brain so I could write it down quicker.
Talking of something beaming straight to my brain, Flossy, I know you've got the lurgy,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping. Well, it's one of those weeks where you're almost hoping they haven't given you a million things to read. If you're feeling if you're feeling a bit iffy.
Yeah.
Well, so I suppose the question is, should I play this tune or that tune, or are you going to tell us? I'll tell you what, I'll play the opening tune, and then you can tell us what's what. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah.
Should we just play the song?
You might as well.
Just tell us if there are CGs this week.
Yeah.
There are no CGs this week.
Boo!
Go.
And here is
Go,
the
song.
completely non-AI version of the No CGs tune.
Oh, yes.
No CGs this week, what can I say? Flossy's got no tasks, no work, no play.
Wave your glow sticks in the air.
The galaxy's calm, no goals in sight. Just sit back and relax, everything's alright. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you. No calls for trucks, no missions to bring. Not a single thing, not a single ping. The stars are quiet, the stations too. Guess it's time to chill, nothing's on cue. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you. No calls for trucks, no missions to bring. Not a single thing, not a single ping. The stars are quiet, the stations too. Guess it's time to chill, nothing's on cue. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you.
Galnet News Update, 16th of January 3311. The HIP 22460 system has been declared completely devoid of Thargoids. Aidan Tanner, military advisor to Aegis, made the claim following the blockade of the system by around 1,500 anti-Xeno pilots on Sunday. The system, in which Salvation's genocidal Proteus wave weapon was fired in August 3308, was the last remaining stronghold of aggressive Thargoids in the bubble. Following the destruction of tens of thousands of interceptors and scouts, the warlike Thargoids appear to have deserted the system, leaving it in human control. The entire HIP 22460 system and its many wreckage fields can now be safely explored. There's a new wreckage field just above planet 10b, made up of the wreckage of Thargoids defeated on Sunday. The wreckage is slowly falling towards the surface of the moon, on which the anomaly left behind after the Proteus wave was fired is still clearly visible. Moons 10b and 10c remain permit-locked, as the radiation from the explosion at the Thargoid imprint site is understood to be deadly. Salvation's flagship, the Bright Sentinel, can be closely examined, along with the wreckage of Alliance, Imperial and Federal megaships. The Fort Ash site and the Black Flight megaship, the Overlook, remain as reminders of the inhumane scientific Project Seraph experiments of 3303. There are still plenty of ripe but abandoned Thargoid barnacles too. Although the Thargoids that invaded the bubble have left, HIP 22460 lies inside Thargoid space, and non-hostile Thargoids are still occasionally being encountered, as they have been near the Pleiades Nebula for more than 8 years. These Thargoids are similar to human pirates. If you're not carrying anything of interest, they'll leave you unharmed. There are a number of attack megaships in Maya, Desiat and elsewhere, where Thargoids, enraged by whatever the megaships were carrying, can still be encountered. But, according to Commander Mechan of the Xeno Strike Force, the only remaining anti-Xeno combat zones are in the California Nebula. These attacks started in October 3308, 2 months after the Proteus wave was fired, but before the 8 Thargoid Titans arrived in the bubble at the head of the invasion force. It is unclear why the Thargoids in the California Nebula remain aggressive. It may be that they simply haven't been told that the war is over. Anti-Xeno commanders are making plans to visit the California Nebula to let those Thargoids know. In unrelated news, there are rumours of a new expedition to the far side of the galaxy. Expected to be announced on Monday next week, Distant Worlds 3 follows Erimus Kamzel's Distant Suns and the Distant Worlds and Distant Worlds 2 expeditions that were organised with the help of Dr. Kai and others. If it goes ahead, it will be the first expedition in the series that has access to fleet carriers, opening the trip up to those without the time to make many hundreds of jumps in their ships. The details of the expedition are eagerly awaited.
Ooh.
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 Indeed.
Are we done? Are we done? Ooh.
Ooh.
Mmm. Is that the wrong noise?
Anyway.
Ew.
Keep
Wow.
going,
So
everybody.
It turned out that I did have a pulse neutralizer, so I was at. If I had got hyperdicted on the way in, it would have been fine. But yeah, I've just checked out the system, and there is indeed another debris field, which is right next to the Bright Sentinel,
Ooh.
which
as
is
they say.
itself right next to the still kind of green yellowy coloured Proteus wave device on the planet's surface. Those two planets orbiting each other really quickly are indeed landable in theory, but yes, they are permit locked.
Right. Damn. Well, maybe soon. Anyway, is that part of the show where we normally play Amelia, one of your rares things.
Yeah, no, we can't this week.
We can't this week, though. We
No.
do have an important question to ask. Is that how's Steve?
Well, that's why we can't this week.
And the little ones.
Yeah, but he's not pregnant.
Okay.
It's okay. He's
Well,
not pregnant.
what is it?
Apparently it's a disease called not disease. It's a condition called New African Moon Bovine Swellulitis.
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 Not cellulitis, but swellulitis.
Exactly.
Right. Well, we did. I mean, after last week, I mean, the Hutton Orbital Science Division did send you a note.
Yes.
All
yes,
about
they
it
did.
to
They
reassure
gave me-
people about how Steve is. Are you
Yes.
able to sort of give us a little bit of a? I'm going to put the pictures back up on the screen from maybe from last week while you're doing this, or at least one of the pictures, so people get an idea of it. But can you give us the rundown on New African Moon Bovine Swellulitis, please?
Well, I mean, I got this letter from Dr. I Am Pottingshed. Apparently, he's the chief of questionable medical research at Hutton. And he sent me this information on the disease. The overview says New African Moon Bovine Swellulitis, or NAMS, is an entirely non-lethal yet spectacularly embarrassing condition caused by direct contact with the bioluminescent mucosal projectiles of male moon bison. Often mistaken for pregnancy due to dramatic abdominal swelling, it is entirely unrelated to reproduction, thankfully, and it clears up on its own. But yeah, the cause is that NAMS occurs when the high-velocity love missiles fired by moon bison during mating season hit unsuspecting humans. Laden with symbiotic bioluminescent microorganisms, these projectiles are meant for moon bison cows, not passing researchers on quad bites. When they meet human skin, chaos ensues. The symptoms are inflammation and swelling, swollen bellies, glowing hands, or even a luminous backside, depending on where you're hit, temporary bioluminescence, a faint glow in affected areas, especially noticeable in dark corners, which is handy if you lose your flashlight. General uncomfortableness, mild itching, and the unnerving sensation that you're about to hatch something. But there is a treatment. Hello, Mooncake. Hold on one second. Yep, there is a symptom. There is a treatment. NAMS resolves itself within a few days, although antihistamines can help reduce swelling. if you're tired of looking like a bioluminescent balloon animal, cold compressors are recommended, as is a stern warning to stop laughing from your crewmates. And of course, you can prevent the whole thing by just avoiding moon bison herds during mating season. And do not use moon bison pelts as camouflage, no matter how clever it seems at the time. Always assume that glowing wet projectiles flying at you are generally bad news. So yeah, I mean, while NAMS is harmless, it's best to avoid becoming a glowing object in glowing object lesson in moon bison biology. I mean, on the bright side, I mean, literally, it's a great story for the bar. Just make sure Steve recovers before the teasing gets out of hand.
I mean, there has been much laughing at poor Steve's expense.
Yeah.
But,
mucho laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I think listening to the apology officer last week sort of describe what might happen should he actually be pregnant and the ensuing pain. I mean, the horns and I mean, just everything else didn't bear thinking about. So,
I mean, Steve's a tough cookie.
I know, but the biomechanics of the whole thing just were frightening. Yeah.
And I don't remember where I heard it, but there was a comment somewhere ages ago about it might blow your cock off. So, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, the swelling. So it's been a week now. It says it goes down in a few days. The laughing hasn't stopped. The swelling's gone down a bit. I mean, this is one Galnet Rares where Steve actually made it out alive, which is
he did.
It's a start.
We don't have to clone him this time.
No, we don't have to clone him this time. Though whether he quits in disgust, we have no idea.
Just another Google hint there. Don't Google pregnant blow cock off.
Put that up there with Planet X.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Planet X probably has lots on that subject, eh?
Right. So maybe you and Stephen Mooncake saying that she's very upset that she's not out doing anything this week.
Yes.
She's really wanting my attention here.
Is Mooncake's actually laughing?
Yeah, she's seen the pictures of Steve.
Yes, she's laughing so hard. I'm just seeing what our good Dr. I.M. Pottingshed has to say about the residual effects on any nearby cats. But oh dear! No, apparently, Mr. Pottingshed, Dr. Pottingshed, is said the complaining from Mooncake is as a result of Steve's continued existence. Mooncake may still be processing the trauma of having to share her domain with a human who looks like a bioluminescent balloon. Yes. And apparently has some strong feelings, about the reintroduction of gold paint jobs. I don't know where he got that one from, but, Right.
It's news.
It is. Well, we're sort of winding down towards the end of the show. So we're going to come back next week. Now, is next week the week when we get a Frontier live stream, or is that the week after?
That's the week after.
29th, isn't it? So we're not going to hear any important news about colonisation ready for next week, we think.
Probably.
We might hear whether, Valkarius has prodded enough Thargoids to upset one of them, maybe. Or eat his hull.
Well, I suppose I could upset as many as I want to.
Well, just don't make one of the really big ones that lies on a planet's surface wake up and try and eat you, because they look because they weren't Titans. They weren't big enough to be Titans, were they? The planetary crashed ones.
I haven't measured them, although I did. When you mentioned, so it was like it was more than a month ago. You mentioned measuring the actual Titans.
Yes, for the debris field.
You didn't say how, but I presumed afterwards that you had two commanders, so you could just read off the number.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You used a beam laser, didn't you?
Me? No, I used a banana and then looked it in my hand, then I looked at the Titan, then I looked down at the banana, and then I made an educated guess.
You used perspective projection.
Absolutely.
Projection. Wow.
Yep. Guesswork.
So yeah, it occurs to me now that probably going to one of the planetary ones and seeing if it's the same size might tell us something. Maybe we could do that.
Yeah, but I don't think they're the same size, because if you think about the custard pot on a Titan, it had whole Thargoids coming out of it, whereas if you try and squeeze an SRV down that little bit at the top of one of the crashed ones, it doesn't quite fit.
Oh.
So clearly there's an order of magnitude
what have we got
of
on
about...
the ground then?
Yeah. So what is that
I could
on the
agree that
ground?
the doors were closed.
Yeah.
But how does it get the extra circumference to become? So if you're saying it could be it could be anything. That's and therefore that they are Titans would be the inference there.
My inference is they aren't Titans.
But they'd have to, if they're a different radius. Oh, I don't know how that would work. We'll have to find out.
To be fair, Steve's a different radius this week. Could be related. Maybe.
Yes, it varies week on week. But so yeah, we're gonna find out how we do that. And then Flossy, are there any sniffs or hints or possibly even glimmers that we might be having to play the other tune?
No.
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 We might have to invent some community-created community goals for good reasons. CCCGs.
Not a single ping.
No pings. Right. Well, are we going to go and raid somebody? Shall we? We've got the new credit. We got some more new credits, haven't we? Or is it the automatic credinator back to where it was?
I think they're still on the same manually inserted credits for Christmas at the moment.
Oh, right. Well, we can have Christmas recipes again. I'm just glancing to see whether there's anybody who needs a little bit of a raid from us. Having a bit of a lazy one this afternoon. I didn't bother doing this before we got to this bit, which was a bit foolish. Who have we got? Apoplectic being appropriate, there's somebody here whose stream says, awoke in a foul mood.
Sounds perfect.
So it's a fed, grind and metal kind of day. Barrosi. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to end the show and then we're going to go and raid Commander Barrosi, and it sounds like they might be in a bad mood and kind of metal today. Give them a hearty for the mug when we get there, and we will probably see you next week when Flossy's going to be feeling better, aren't you?
Yeah, hopefully.
We're going to make him indoors make you a hot toddy or two. Either you'll feel better or an awful lot better, depending on how many you drink. Yes. And everybody in next week, Litho, you're not being sent off to the lands of sausages and Toulouses and right.
No, not so far. I should be here.
Sounds good. And Amelia, is Mooncake going to shout for the mug for us?
I am gonna speak it normally because
stage whisper it.
Yes, she's feisty tonight.
Okay, stage whisper.
Now?
Yes, now.
For the mug!
For the mug!
For the mug.
For the mug!
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grace. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the bug, yeah, you know just where I'm coming from. For the bug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the bug, yeah, you know just where I'm coming from. For the bug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?